Hello everybody. Hello. It's our first video and after a very long time for mommy. Say hi. Oh, my baby woke up. So we have to do this together. I've been putting it off for a couple of weeks. I promised that I was going to read chapter by chapter, mindful to mindful. Zen Wisdom from a Monk's Bowl by Swami. It's a very good book. I started it, but I really wanted it to read it together as I promised. So we're gonna attempt to do that. Let's see how far we're gonna get with this little one. Right? Okay. So, mindful to mindful. A Zen wisdom from a monk's bowl. Now, I've been trying to create a Zen environment for myself and for my babies. I have two little boys. I have a newborn. And trying to make some difference. Simple difference. So there are several chapters, of course, and as I read the first and second chapter, it's quite short, so I should be able to do this in a video. The first chapter is called Awakening. And there is a little picture here where you are, it seems to be someone meditation and thinking about all the things that we always worry about. If you can see that clearly. Little illustrations that can be quite funny at the same time. And at the beginning of each chapter, there seems to be one of these as well, I believe, tells you about the chapter. So the first chapter said, they looked at the calm and radiance on Buddha's face and couldn't help but talk to him. Are you God? They asked. No, replied Buddha. Are you a celestial being? No. Then who are you then? I am awake. That's his response. So I believe that's what the first chapter is about. Each beginning of each chapter will have a quote or a picture to give you an introduction of what to expect. So our first chapter is called Awakening. Some folk sinners were on their way to perform at a village fair. They were about to cross a river and didn't notice Buddha, who lay there emaciated, almost lifeless. You are always tinkering your veena or lute. One of the birds chastised his companion, who is fixing the strings of his lute. Either you make the strings so tight they snap, or you make them so loose that they're out of tune. Only if you leave them the way they're supposed to be will you be able to produce a melodious music. These words fell upon Buddha's ear. He had what we call satori in Zen, an instant realization. So satori means instant realization, I suppose. Mind you, some of these words, I apologize, I may not pronounce them correctly. His first flash of awakening. He understood and said to himself, I have been too hard on myself. While in my father's palace, I lived a life of luxury, an almost a balked life, and now I have gone to the other extreme of depriving my body and mind of even basic nutrition and care. This was not the way to progress on path to awakening, he realized. Hi, you okay? That while life might be full of suffering, it had to be lived with grace and gratitude. Living a graceful life that has meaning and happiness is an art anyone can master. Essentially, that is what Zen is about, a state of free conditioning so that the mind can rest and rejoice. So it may go with the flow of life without the anxiety to always get somewhere. Life is here. Now, though it is easier than said than done, it is possible. We all try. This is awakening in a nutshell. To have a graceful response to everything life throws at you without using your sense of serenity and inner calm. I think I would like to read that again. What is awakening in a nutshell? To have a graceful response to everything life throws at you without losing your sense of serenity and inner calm. It's not as easy as it sounds. Life and our emotions needn't be as serious an affair. Let's take a pause. Okay, we're gonna take a pause. Still in our pause, taking a little break. Yes, okay. We will be back. Okay, we're back. Baby's with his grandma. Grandma's leaving soon, so let's continue. So I'll read that again, even though I know I did already. This is awakening in a nutshell. To have a graceful response to everything that life throws at you without using your sense of serenity and inner calm. Let us all strive to be in an awakening. Life and our emotions needn't be as serious an affair as we made it out to be. To be enlightened is to take things lightly, though not for granted, to laugh away the whims and irritabilities of life. We tend to take ourselves too seriously, making what the root cause of most of our agony. When our mind is full of conditioning starts to empty itself by way of mindfulness and a natural awareness, a sort of calm rises to the brim of our consciousness. What if we could do away with our conditioning and have a mind that would not be so quick to judge everything around us? While our ability to make quick judgments has an evolutionary basis and allow our mind to do more by going back to the pattern it knows, this ability is also the cause of most of our emotional and mental suffering. Whenever something doesn't fit in our conceptual reference, we struggle to cope with it. Unlike other forms of meditation, where you go through rigorous practices to tame your mind, in Zen, I don't have to go anywhere. Everything I need to be happy is here. I don't have to concentrate or build my concentration. Not all meditation means sitting down in one rigid posture. Walking, eating, doing the dishes. Everything we do in life can be done in a manner that turns into meditation. I love that. I know I will try to practice that. The way a child lives merrily and at least freely from one moment to another, a Zen practitioner aims to be mindful in the flow, in the natural flow of life, the nature of things. In Buddha, the first practitioner of Zen, practiced intense meditation for 6 years. He went through a number of experiences and he dabbled in many systems of spirituality under various teachers. He also tried the path of complete self-abnegation, where he would not eat for days at a stretch, surviving only on his own body residues. But then one day, when the words of the folk singer fell on his ears, he realized that this was not the way to progress. From then on, Buddha decided he would feed himself well, being kind to others as well as traveling in a spiritual path can go hand in hand. For the next few months, he started eating proper meals. His body, which had become a little bit more than a skeleton, started to regain its energy, sinews, and even a bit of flesh. Then one day, tired of not making significant progress, Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree and made a promise to himself. I am not getting up till I am awakened. After he gained the realization he was seeking, he got up. Even though I have used the word gained, enlightenment is not something you gain or attain, it is something you become. A common misconception is that when Buddha attained enlightenment, something changed in his body, or he was overcome by a miracle, or he suddenly became somebody from the other world, that there were rainbows in the skies and flower petals fell on him. I doubt that any of that really happened. In fact, I am convinced that nothing as fantastical as that occurred. Instead, something infinitely more powerful and useful happened. Buddha got up with a new perspective, a fresh perspective on life, a different take on how he ought to live his life and how he ought to help others in the process. Perspective. That's a word that I had used recently to say that how my life was changed. When he walked, this is a famous story I have told many times. He was stopped by two wandering sadhus. They asked him, "Who are you? We see this extraordinary radiance on your face, and we feel drawn towards you. Your energy is irresistible. Who are you? Are you God?" And Buddha said, "No, I am not God. There is no God." "Well, are you a celestial being then?" "No. You must be a Gandharva." Once again, I apologize for the mispronunciation, or a heavenly being then. "Look at your graceful limbs and look at your gut." "No, I am not a Gandharva." "Well, are you a saint?" "No, I am not a saint either." "This can't be right," they contended. "There is a great difference between you and us. There must be some explanation. Look at you and look at us. We look like mangoes, sucked dry and thrown by the side of the road, whereas you look attractive and so beautiful. Your inner beauty is shining through. It's exuding from you." "I never said that there is a difference between you and I," Buddha spoke calmly, like a murmuring river. "There is a tiny difference. You are sleeping and I am awake. You sleep through your whole lives, and I am aware of each passing moment." With that, Buddha walked away, and legend has it that they joined the Sangha and became his disciples. Buddha asked them to shave their heads and don ochre. The word Buddha in Sanskrit means Jagrita, awake. This book, however, beyond the first few chapters, is not about Buddha or his story. Instead, it's about you, me, and our story, the story of our life, the story of our mind. Walk with me, or walk with Om Swami. And that brings us to the end of the first chapter. The next chapter, which I will always read to get us a little anticipated for the next one reads. And if it's an illustration, I will share with you. And if it's a writing, I will also. Shankyami Buddha always carried his begging bowl and wore his robe. A lot of people think, why don't he just sit back and enjoy? Enlightenment isn't something you have. It is something you are, something you do, which will bring us to the next chapter of enlightened living, which we will do next time. So once again, thank you for joining me and my baby, and we will read the next chapter of Mindful to Mindful. Bye, everybody.